All right, so today we're just going to do a quick video to talk about getting photos and having some photography done for your practice. When you do really any form of marketing, you're gonna want some visual components to that marketing piece. Now, you have the option to use stock photography, but people can smell stock photography from a mile away. So it's much more effective to get your own real high quality photos. Most smartphones can take pretty good photos out of the box, but the problem with taking them on your phone is you're losing out on the professionalism and the knowledge of how to use proper angles and lighting and framing, and then also the editing component after the photo is taken. So usually it's much more advantageous for you to actually spend a little bit of money and hire a professional photographer. When it comes to finding and picking a photographer, there's a few different ways that you can go about this. Doing a quick Google search can easily help you find tons of photographers in your area. Some of them may do corporate photography, some of them may not, so you might have to do a little digging. There are photographer marketplaces that you can go to. You type in your area, kind of what you're looking for, and it'll show you all the local photographers in your area, like an Airbnb for photographers. I'll see if I can find the link for you and put it in the description. Going to Instagram and searching for photographers in your area on Instagram is a good way. Referrals from other people that you know that have used photographers. There's a ton of photographers out there. You might even have someone that you already know that you can tap into for as a resource. But definitely make sure that you hire a professional so that way you're getting the best quality. Usually for a few $100, you can have a photographer come in for a few hours. They'll snap a ton of photos for you during that time frame, and you'll have a big library of photos to use in all of your marketing. Once you have that big batch of photos, you'll be able to reuse these photos for all of the stuff that you want to do. Flyers, your website, social media ads, banners, or whatever else you can think of. These photos will come in handy for a lot of different purposes, and you can use them forever. So in planning and prepping for what we call this media day, we have some tips to help kind of make sure that you get the most out of it. The first is to really plan out the models that you're going to be using in the photos. So we usually recommend getting a bunch of family and friends to come in at like a designated time slot, so that way you can have all of these people already in the office ready to go. When planning out who you're going to invite, we usually recommend trying to create some diversity in the people that you select. You're going to want men and women, people that are older, people that are younger, children, infants, different races. So that way you have a lot of variety to choose from. You don't want your photos to feel like you have the same person in every single photo. So having a variety of models is going to help create that diversity that you're looking for. When it comes to your attire, make sure you dress like you do every day in the office. Typically, you're trying to use the photos to give people what a real life experience is in the office and what it feels like to be there. So if you dress up in a suit every day, then you should dress up in a suit for your pictures. If you're in scrubs every day for work, then you should take your pictures in the scrubs, acting like it's just any day in the office. It gives people that real authentic experience. When they see your pictures, they know exactly what to expect. This part might sound kind of silly, but you and your models both need to focus on smiling. Smiling in the photos is what's going to create that warm, inviting feeling and drastically increases the quality of the photos. People want to go where other people are happy. So if they see you and your patients all smiling, it's going to be much more enticing for them, more of that warmth, inviting vibes that you want to portray in the photos. So focus on smiling in your photos. Ask the models that are there to smile during the session so the photographer can capture that. Also, just don't be afraid to take too many photos. There really isn't such thing as having too many options when it comes to the photos. The more options that you can get during this session, the better. So just ask that photographer to keep taking as many photos as they can. And when they're doing so, try to get a wide variety of photos. That means different angles from the photographer's perspective, different outfits if you're changing like your street clothes and what you're wearing in the office, different models. You don't want just neck adjustments of one specific model. You want neck adjustments of like all the different models. So swapping those models out for the photos. The more variations you can make, the better. So that way you have lots of different options to choose from when creating your material. This also is a super great time during this media day that you have to take some video content. And this doesn't have to be like you talking to the camera, or you don't have to do any scripts or anything like that. Really, what you're looking for is getting a couple different shots that you can use for other types of material. So some examples would be when you're doing your adjustment photos and you're getting photos of you doing adjustments, why not have one of the models or maybe a staff member sit there and take little video recordings of you doing those adjustments? Those 5 to 10 second clips, getting a bunch of those type of clips of you doing adjustments can be used in all sorts of ways, specifically on social media. When inside of your social content or inside of the social media ads that you create, you can use all of those adjustment videos in some of the montages and ad creative. We also suggest trying to get some B-roll. So this is just background footage of like you and patients like moving around the office, greeting, smiling, doing all of those things. When you're going to create those photos anyways, have your staff member pull out their phone and also take some B-roll footage. A lot of that footage can be compiled inside of your ad content that you create. A lot of offices will do like a B-roll style video for their hero image on their website. That content can become more and more valuable as time goes on for all these different purposes. Use this as an opportunity to grab some video content while you're there anyways. Next, I'm going to suggest that you download our Media Day checklist, which is a big checklist of things. You can hand this to your photographer, but it helps prep you and your team and the photographer on what are the pictures that you should try to capture during this media day. So you can work through this list shot by shot and check them off as you go. At the end of your media day, you've got the bulk of what you should really want for your marketing and material. Keep in mind that there's going to be a variety of shots. There's going to be headshots of you, headshots of your team members, team group shots, all sorts of different action shots. Make sure that you swap out your models and patients for every single one of these. So that way, again, you're getting a variety to choose from. Work through the checklist, get them all done, and you'll have a really good set of photos at the end of this to use for all of your material. We're also going to have some more written instructions that you can follow about how to take good photos, the other things to consider during the media day. So make sure that you check out that written content, because your media day is really going to set you up from a visual component for success on all of your marketing moving forward. And just remember that this is an ongoing process. You might do one media day now, and then you might do another media day next year or the year after that. Maybe you have new team members, maybe you have a bigger staff, maybe you look different, you're dressing different, you want to get some new fresh content. So think about media creation as kind of like this ongoing process, but this media day checklist should set you up with a really good core foundation of material to use moving forward for all of your marketing efforts. And if you have any questions, feel free to let us know. We are here to help.